But I am telling you the truth. It's the way I've done it for eons.
Come on, fat man. I really want to give you this cup of milk.
I'm going to ask you one more time. How did you cross the border into this country with no passport, no visa, and no documentation whatsoever?
Listen, you fess up, help us. There's a warm cup of milk just waiting for you.
Flying reindeer?
Oh, crap. Dump that.
Oh.
The United States versus Santa Claus, the untold story of the actual war on Christmas. On sale now. The perfect gift for fans of humor, books, and limited government. The BS of A with Brian Sack.
Good evening, and welcome to the BS of A. I'm your host, Brian Sack. The president was unaware of blank is an excuse we've heard a lot of in the past 5 years. So perhaps the president can't be omnipotent, but shouldn't he be a little potent? With me to discuss, Jackie Remus, an advisor from the Obama administration.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
Thank you for coming. I'm glad you were aware that you had a show to do.
I get that.
Got it. Jackie, the Fast and Furious, NSA, the IRS scandal, Benghazi, the wiretapping of dignitaries, the healthcare rollout. I mean, can the administration really claim that President Obama was unaware every single time something bad happens?
Absolutely. He knows nothing about it.
He knows nothing about it.
No, I am the head of the Department of Sunshine and Lollipops, and it's my job to make sure that our president stays blissfully unaware.
Okay, but why?
Because we want all of our presidents to be happy and unimpeachable.
Okay, but I mean, how do you keep the chief executive of the United States from knowing what's going on?
Oh, easy. We control what he sees and reads. For example, the West Wing cable only shows ESPN and MSNBC BOE.
MSNBC BOE.
Oh, that's MSNBC Barack Obama edition.
And what is that?
It's a special channel just for the president that focuses on the good news.
That sounds like MSNBC.
On this version, if there's no good news, we just pay Chris Matthews to play kitten videos.
Okay, but what about magazines and newspapers?
Oh, sure. He reads lots of those after I have worked my magic on them.
With scissors?
Well, we call these reality shears. For example, here's today's New York Times.
Okay, there's a big hole cut out, and what is that?
Oh, that's an article we didn't want the president to read so he wouldn't know that the country was all out of money.
Okay, that's great.
And for example, here is the National Review.
Now that is just a mailing label.
Yeah, that's the only part that wasn't negative.
Okay, I mean, but clearly at some point the president is going to be exposed to something.
Well, if he ever does get close to something, we just do a little bit of digital masking.
What is digital masking?
Oh, it's when I take my digits, I place them in the president's ears, and then I go la 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 la. For example, here's the president learning about Benghazi.
Okay.
And about the healthcare fiasco.
Right.
And about Osama bin Laden escaping.
I'm sorry, you said escaping? He escaped?
Not as far as the president knows.
Wow, that is tremendously disappointing.
Oh, la 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 la.
All right, we'll be right back.
La 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 la. We done? What? I was digital masking myself.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
Hey, Nick, get in here, man. We're celebrating October sales.
Easy.
Guys, now's not the time to be celebrating.
Tell me why not? Because our October sales were better than August and September combined.
Because I just saw the projected November sales.
Are they even better?
No, they're worse. They're much worse.
What?
Basically, no one has bought a spooky costume at all so far this November.
That can't be true.
It is true, believe me. That's August. Okay, slow start, understandable, new business. September, picking up.
Yeah.
Right?
Gaining steam.
October,
Choo-choo!
gangbusters. Gangbusters.
Take me home, Mama.
These are the projected sales for November.
Oh. Oh.
December,
Oh, it's worse.
January,
No. No.
February.
No.
Okay, all right.
How is this even possible?
We just opened up tons of stores around the country in mid-August.
One took over an abandoned Arby's in my neighborhood.
We're gonna have to shut it down. We're gonna have to shut them all down.
There has to be a mistake, okay? Everybody loves spooky costumes. Just a few weeks ago, I went to a party. Every person there was wearing a spooky costume.
I know, Allison, you're right. I went to 2 parties at the end of October.
Good job.
Every single person was in a spooky costume. I went to 1 party last week in November. Not a single person was wearing a costume. Not a single person, except me, of course.
Oh, you look miserable.
We're gonna have to let go everyone we hired.
No, when we hired those teenagers, they thought they had jobs for life.
No. There has to be a mistake. It'll turn around.
No, it won't.
Old Man Morrison.
You are all new to this company. I have been here for years, and it's always the same. We get cocky and we open a bunch of new stores. Everything seems okay, especially in October. But then November hits. Kablamo! We have to fire 90% of the company. It happens every year, like clockwork.
But I don't understand. Why is this happening?
Isn't it obvious? Halloween Spirit Incorporated is cursed.
Oh, a curse. That makes perfect sense.
Yes, I believe this office sits on top of an ancient Indian burial ground. It literally is the only explanation as to why spooky costumes don't sell in November.
You know what, guys? I got a fix. We just need to show the Native American spirits that we respect them by dressing up like them.
Yes, perfect. And we have some of their costumes in our stores.
Call one of the stores right now.
Hi, this is Lisa from... Oh my God.
What? What?
The store's already closed. It's Elaine Bryant.
The curse strikes again.
Damn you, November. Well, I am sure glad we got out of that silly costume business. Have you seen this month's numbers? Our sales are through the roof. Yes!
This company will never close.
Welcome back. I'm joined today by 3 experts to discuss the issues of the day that are of interest to me. My first guest is a KGB agent who only recently learned that the Cold War is over. Please welcome Agent Abramov.
Hello, Brian.
Hello, Agent. How are you?
It's really over.
It is over. It's been over for a bit.
Let's get McDonald's.
Okay, you may.
Enjoy Springsteen together.
Sure. So what have you been doing all this time?
Well, I've been in Montana. I've been stationed in Montana.
You were stationed in Montana.
Yes, I was just supposed to keep an eye on things up there.
Like what? Like a lot of.
Well, exactly, Brian. That's what I was going to say. You know, what
moose.
is up there?
Another moose.
Yeah, I started thinking maybe moose spies. So I would poison them.
Okay. My next guest comes to us from Georgia, the Peach State, and is full of her own unique style of charm. Please welcome Jezebel McAllister, a condescending Southern mom. Hello.
Hey!
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Are you tired?
No. Do I look tired?
You just look a little sick.
Really?
And I mean, I just want to make sure you're all right.
I feel good.
Brian.
I got a decent 6.5 hours.
Oh, bless your heart.
So sorry if I look like I'm under the
I'm
weather.
sorry too.
Okay. My last guest is the latest voice in the loud chorus of opposition against Obamacare. Please welcome a witch doctor. Channeling something.
Oh, hello, Brian. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I did not expect to hear your voice like that.
Oh, I don't understand what that's supposed to mean, but I was just coming out of a treatment with someone who's in Peru. I was channeling myself over there.
You were treating someone in Peru.
My goodness.
What is that?
It's my medical assistant.
Your medical assistant?
Yes, his name is Kundala.
Kundala. Now what?
Kundala, yeah. He works the front desk.
He looks like an African tribal mask.
Yeah, well, we picked him up in Nairobi. We met each other and we just connected so well. I said, you know what? I have a job, an opening for you in my office in the Upper West Side. So why don't you come on down and we'll, you know, we'll work something out.
Your office is in the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Yeah, it's on 83rd and Broadway, but I'll tell you, this Obamacare is choking us.
No, how?
We accept 3 types of health plans. We accept turtle deductibles.
Turtle deductible?
Yeah, you know, you bring a turtle in and you leave the turtle, and if the turtle leaves the building, you know, on its own, you get your deductible back. But if it doesn't, we keep it, and then we make soup out of it.
Sure.
You know, and a variety of other things. You know, I'm sure we'll talk about it in the next segment, Brian.
I think we will. Let's talk about books, because there's a book coming out. I don't know if anybody's heard. It's called The United States versus Santa Claus.
No.
It's the actual untold story of the war on Christmas. And it's coming out, and I don't know if we've mentioned it at all on the show. I just want to make sure we get a mention in for it. So let me ask you this, Agent Abramov. What is a book that you really wanted to read but you never got around to reading?
Well, it's so nice that I don't have to kill you for having book that is unapproved by the Kremlin.
Right.
I believe I would love to read Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
Okay.
It's a Judy Blume.
Sure, Judy Blume.
Book.
That's your, so.
Yes, I
Cold War's
identify
over.
with this cry as one alone, you know, because for so long I was left out in the dark about, you know.
So Judy Blume was censored in Soviet Russia?
Yes, she is spy.
Judy Blume is a spy?
Obvious spy, Brian.
Obvious.
You don't have the trained eye. Judy Blume, big-time spy.
Really not? She's not just a young adult author? She's
Indoctrinating your children
with books
capitalism
about and puberty.
and religion.
Interesting. Jezebel, what is a book that you have always wanted to read but never quite got around to reading?
That's a great question, Brian. I think it's so cute that y'all have time to think about reading secular books. It's a real special thing that y'all have a little bit of, you know, some free time in your lives to do something cute like that.
Cute.
I personally, I'm only reading one book, and that book is the truth. It's the light. It's the way. That would be The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. And I don't see any reason, for example, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I agree with our foreign friend here that that is indoctrinating our children, mainly about the fact that women should be discussing anything that has to do with their bodies.
Interesting.
Which just, I mean, let's just not, can we?
Dr. Ween?
Who has time to read, Brian? Because, you know, between dealing with trying to register with this website, which is, you know, which normally we do websites, we have giant spiders. And
You have giant spiders.
we have giant spiders in the office, and they weave a webbed area, which we call the website.
Oh.
We had our own exchanges on that website.
Okay.
And-
What was a typical exchange like on your website?
Well, you know, you'd have 2 patients stuck on the web, and
Sure.
they'd have a conversation. That was the exchange. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm stuck on this web. I know. Tell me about it. I've been waiting for 4 hours to go see the witch doctor." And he said, "Well, yeah, just relax. You're on the web. What are you concerned about? Go cruise the web." And then they would shuffle around the web until, you know, maybe it would break or they'd fall off. But now it's like I have to deal with this. I don't know how many people you've put on Cobra. Have you ever dealt with Cobra in your entire life?
I was on a Cobra plan.
You were? I can't believe you're still alive.
Why?
Well, because they're venomous.
It was
I mean, a real cobra. You have to put a spirit in the cobra, so that when it bites you, the venom injects the spirit into another person. Hopefully you put it in an animal, but, you know, sometimes you have to do another person.
Okay, we're talking about different Cobras because mine was just an 18-month extension of my healthcare.
Oh, I don't understand that. I'm going to need hair and fingernails from everybody by the end so that I can make
let's
dolls
do that.
of you.
Let's do that during the break. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Why would you want to move on to the commercial,
No
Brian?
reason. No reason.
Brian, we are having fruitful discussion.
All of America is buzzing about the hilarious new book, The United States versus Santa Claus, which you can now order at Amazon.com. So with that in mind, I decided to send a special guest to the streets of New York to discuss the art of writing books. Take it away.
I'm Ernest Hemingway. Finally, after 240 years, the great American novel has been written. Let's go talk to people about the fine art of literature and writing. That's quite a beard you have.
Thank you.
Do you know the secret beard handshake? I do a lot of that, but only when I'm in Thailand. Why do drunks make better authors?
For real? Because they don't care what people think. Drunk people are more interesting.
Why do drunks make better lovers?
I would think they don't. that's not my experience.
I'm not sure that they do make better lovers.
They can't raise the sail on the mast?
Right.
I once said, always do sober what you do intoxicated, so you'll have no regrets. What's something you've done drunk that you regret?
Having sex on a roof.
Oh my, how adventurous. Like the snows of Kilimanjaro, but instead we're just on a roof.
Jumping off a bridge. Just vandalism, I guess, generally.
Just like falling, I guess, and hurting myself. Just everything.
What's the number one thing you've said in recent memory?
How about I go home with you?
Have you ever yanked on a man's beard before?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, I'm into that. I once punched a shark to death.
Good.
How you do that?
With my fists, my dear. What's an animal that you would punch to death?
Gerbil.
Mosquito.
What about a snake?
Probably a tiger, just because of their face.
Bully for you?
Yeah.
Yes, punch it until it's dead, and then drag its body around and sleep with it and lie with it like a woman.
Yeah, like a dead woman.
Weirdo. What qualifies a book for being the great American novel?
I think adventure in the spirit of America.
Has pictures. Pictures, if it has pictures in it.
Good imagination.
If it's The Great Gatsby.
You. You know I came up with the phrase grace under pressure. What's a phrase that you like to say?
I don't know.
That's it? Ignorance is bliss, isn't it?
Sometimes you just have to pee in the sink.
Yes, you do. I was once so drunk conducting a man on the street interview that I accidentally kissed a woman.
I'm married, so I don't know if you should try that with me.
I leaned in to kiss her.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I'd push you.
Fine.
Oh.
I can't believe that happened. Can't believe you actually touched my mouth.
That's so sad.
It's because I have a communicable mouth fungus that you now have on your finger.
The herp?
No, mouth fungus. Please. I have herpes on my genitals, not on my mouth. I'm looking for a new idea for my book. Any thoughts?
You should make something funny.
How to interview on a street.
Wow. Quite a dig at me, huh? I'm gonna bare knuckle beat your friend in 2 seconds. What was my book, Movable Feast, about?
I don't know.
Okay, I have no idea.
I'm gonna go home and put a shotgun in my mouth and blow my brains out.
A Movable Feast is Hemingway's time in Paris when he lived there in the early 20s.
Total misinterpretation of my writing. I wrote it about a great buffet in a hotel for whom the bell tolls. Who does it toll for?
V.
Oh, Ben Vereen. Trick question. Would you wrestle me now?
Sure.
Come on. Get down on the ground. Get down on the ground. We'll call it a draw. You are a man.
Thank you, sir.
Do you want to wrestle me? Thank you so much. I appreciate your interview. You did a great job, dear. Thank you.
Thank you, Ernest. All right, quickly before we go, the Redskins are getting a lot of flack for their team name. It doesn't seem to be subsiding. If they were forced to change their name from the Washington Redskins, what would you name it, Agent Abramov?
I believe the Washington Spies.
The Washington, everything spies with you, spies.
Well, everyone is spy here in America.
The Washington Spies.
Especially all these super soldiers that you build up in your football leagues.
Football players.
Yes, the super soldiers.
You think they're intelligence agents?
Of course, Brian.
That's ironic.
Why put that much missile onto a man?
Interesting. Well, maybe so they can knock over the other man and get the ball to the other side of the field.
Yes, I know what you're really saying. So they can overthrow.
No, get a touchdown.
Mother Russia.
Mother Russia.
Mother Russia.
Mother Russia.
What am I saying?
Mother Russia.
We're saying the same thing.
Jezebel.
Yes.
If you were forced to rename the Washington Redskins, what would you go with?
Well, I think it's, first of all, just it's sweet that they really try so hard to play football out on that field. You know, if they're not part of the SEC, and I get that they're just trying to scrape by and put something together for people. It's real sweet. But I do think they should change that name. You know, it doesn't really represent what they're about. And if I had to change that name, really I would change any team north of the Mason-Dixon line to Northern Aggression.
Northern Aggression.
Yeah, the Washington Northern
The
Aggression.
Washington Northern, so that the name of the Civil War, the War of Northern Aggression.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
It's factually accurate,
Is it?
Brian.
Okay, well, I lived in Georgia a little while, so
Okay,
I got a taste.
good for you.
Yeah.
Where about?
Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah,
In Atlanta.
Atlanta, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh.
Good for you, honey.
Okay, well, have him lick the toad 3 times in the morning. That's what I told him. It's on the side of the toad. It's printed on it. Well, I don't care what he says. Well, if he doesn't do it right, then that wood spirit's never going to leave him, okay? And by the way, would you please look at me from now on when we're having conversations? I understand Brian's interesting, but you can't inhabit him. Bye.
Wow. Okay, so you're having a chat with...
I'm having a special conversation with a patient who has a wood nymph stuck in him, and he has to lick a toad in order to get rid of it.
Now, is that covered under Obamacare?
No, not now. Now it's a deductible.
No
It's
kidding.
unbelievable. And half the time, I'm paying out of pocket as a doctor for it, and I have to create this whole new filing system. What am I supposed to do? I've been organizing everything with twigs and leaves for I don't know how many years.
And suddenly, oh, it's technology.
Point and click.
Right.
When I bought the computer, I took a real mouse and I jammed it into a wire, and they just kept dying.
No kidding.
Yeah, I don't understand things. I'm a jungle person.
Let me ask you this.
Right.
The Washington Redskins.
Shoot.
If you had to rename the team, what would you name them?
Ooh. I think that since they are a DC-based team, I would maybe call them the Washington Failures.
Ooh.
Because they can't run a website.
You think they'd go for that?
I hope they would. I mean, God knows. You know what? Let me tell you something. First off, there's nothing offensive about Redskin. But no one cares about me. I've got a big white face. Oh, yeah.
I learned to value.
Hey there, Skullface. Get out of the convenience store, Skullface. I'm sorry. You're shopping at Macy's, Skullface? I have to look in your bags.
So Washington Skullface, would that be offensive to you?
How dare you? I'm suing you.
All right, that's all the time we have for this week's BS of A. I'm your host, Brian Sack. Join us next week for a brand new episode. Like us on Facebook, love us on Twitter, share our videos on YouTube, and tell your friends to buy The United States vs. Santa Claus by Brian Sack and Jack Helmuth on Amazon.com. And remember, if you like your plan, you can keep it. Good night, America.
Oh, you can't keep it, though, Brian.
No, you can't.
You can't. They lied.
They did lie.
It was the most scared I did.
All right.
What?
I need a mint julep, y'all. Jeez.
That would be nice. I would try that.
That would be nice.
The mint julep is that's very good for
Mint?
constipation.
La 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 la.
Want to be an under-the-table sponsor? Email sponsorthebsofA@theblaze.com. Millions of people can see this ad, so hurry up before the network catches on.